Hi, my name is Isabel Peña, and today I will be presenting my final evaluation video for the visualization of data for decision-making class. So to start off, I will be talking a little bit about the problem that will be analyzed during this video. And the problem is that the number of refugees worldwide has been increasing steadily over the years. But refugees concentrate in certain countries, which are normally the countries that are close to the country of origin of the refugees. And in this case, the United Nations has hired us to determine which country of origin is the most affected by the refugee problematic and propose alternate asylum countries for them. And by doing this, the UN will facilitate refugee travel in the selected asylum countries at the end of the video. So the first thing I did was to create this dashboard to contextualize the problem. And this is the current refugee overview dashboard. And here, the first thing we can see is this line graph, which shows how the problem has been evolving over time. And as we can see, the number of refugees has been increasing since 2010. For example, here in 2010, we had 10.5 million refugees compared to the 29.4 million refugees we had in 2022. And then I mapped out which countries of origin have the highest number of living refugees. And as expected, Syria came out in the first place. And to give a little bit of context of why this was expected, since 2011, Syria has been in a very violent war, forcing the displacement of more than half of its population, and most of them are fleeing to nearby countries, especially Turkey. So here we can see in this third graph that Turkey is the #1 recipient country of refugees worldwide, sheltering around 29.5 million of them. And this is followed by Pakistan, which shelters 20.1 million refugees worldwide. And finally, we have this table in which we can see which are the most common refugee paths. And the first one is the Syrian-Turkey path, which has 29.2 million crossers. And this is followed by the Afghanistan-Pakistan path, which has 20.1 million crossers. So here, if we filter all these graphs by Syria, we can see that the problem has been evolving over time. And since 2017, more than 6 million Syrians have been fleeing their country every single year. And that Turkey is by far the #1 recipient of Syrian refugees. So here we can see that the Syrian-Turkey path is also the most common path in the Syrian frame. So the next thing, well, now we have a very clear image of Syria being the origin country with the highest number of refugees and Turkey being the country that shelters most of them, which sounds good, right? But the problem is that Turkey has had an economical, social, and political impact due to its high openness to refugees, and it cannot keep accepting them at the same rates that it had done in the past. So then I created this second dashboard to show this problematic, and this is the Syrian refugee situation and solutions dashboard. And as we can see in this first pie chart, Turkey is the country with the highest number of returned Syrian refugees. So in 2022, as we can see in this second graph, which is the Syria-Turkey path, 1 out of every 100 persons who sought asylum in Turkey from Syria were returned. But in years like 2013 and 2018, the rates were much higher. For example, in 2013, which is this peak we have right here, 24 out of every 100 people were returned to Syria. And it is important to find alternative asylum countries for Syrians to help them escape from their country and not be returned to the danger they encounter every day in their origin country. So in this following table, we can see that the countries that have sheltered the highest number of Syrians without returning any of them. For example, here we can see that Germany has taken almost 4 million Syrians and hasn't returned any single one of them to their country. This same case applies for Sweden, Austria, the Netherlands, Greece, the USA, etc. And Well, finally, in this graph, we can see clearly that Germany takes the lead in sheltering without returns, having given asylum to almost 4 million Syrians, followed by Sweden and Austria. So then I came up with, based on these dashboards, I came up with these two solutions. The first one, I think that it's the most viable one, which is choosing Germany as the alternate asylum country. And this is because Germany is the country with the highest number of Syrians that does not have any returned refugee data. And the number of actual refugee Syrians is very important because when you are a refugee, you don't belong to the country you are given asylum in. So the fact that Germany has a high number of Syrians can help to make newcomers feel more welcome and continue to keep in touch with their culture and not have to change everything they have ever known by establishing there. And the second country is Sweden, which is the second country with the highest number of Syrians that doesn't have any returned refugee data. But the number of Syrians that live in Sweden is 78% less than the Syrians that live in Germany. So I really believe that Germany should be chosen as the alternate asylum country. And by implementing these solutions, the UN would help to improve the indicator of the number of returned refugees.